so. It's 10:01, John's running about another 5 minutes out, but I might as well get started, so. Brittany, if you call to order, please. Oh, I just called to order, I'm sorry, yeah. I was taking a roll call, okay, pledge of allegiance, and silence, and the flag up there. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, now Brittany, front and center, if you do a roll call.
Richard Duncan,
Present.
Don Samavilla is running late. Robert Fudge,
Here.
Jamie Kramer,
Here.
Joe Underwood,
Here.
Heather Harris Brady.
Here.
Brad Jewett.
Here.
Okay. Okay, first public comment.
Any interested person, party or person may address the board on any matter of greater concern during public comment. Comments will be limited to 5 minutes and a 1-minute warning will be given when needed. Any constructive, unduly repetitive, or impedes the orderly progress of the meeting may be terminated by the presiding officer. Once you have completed your public comment, the board may ask any clarifying questions. If needed, you will be assigned a member of BATA staff to follow up directly on any open concerns.
Any?
I'll say a few words if that's all right. Rob Henshaw, citizen, Intercounty Commissioner. Just wanted to encourage the board to consider taxpayer dollars. Situation is that Grand Traverse County has a 3-member committee out of a 9-member board of commissioners that had a preliminary recommendation of the county commissioners district. That recommendation never made it to the full commission. However, BATA's response to it did, and the board unanimously said, continue interviewing, come back with a recommendation. So by the state of Michigan laws, the board acts by the majority of those elected serving. No action has been taken by Grand Traverse County, but we're on the precipice of being in a lawsuit. Things as they are, we actually have a retainer agreement with an attorney, so we pay one price for our legal fees, and it covers basically everything within the scope of that agreement. However, because Leland used the same attorney and they had a different opinion on the topic, that attorney has recused himself. So now we're taking tax dollars and going to hiring a new attorney. And Leland is going to go do the same. So now we have BATA spending money on attorneys, Leland spending money on attorneys, Grand Traverse spending money on attorneys, tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars when Grand Traverse County has yet to do anything. So I would just invite you to keep that in mind. I would invite you to question the things that you think are true, or, the chairman sharing some opinions of me and the things that he thinks that I know or knew. They're assumptions, they're baseless. You can move them all you want, doesn't have to be true. So I just encourage everyone just to slow down and consider who's paying the bill. Thanks.
Okay. We need an approval of the agenda. Do we have any conflicts of interest?
Motion to approve.
Anybody wants to disclose? I would bring one up. Brad, I think you have a conflict on what we're gonna vote on. Because you're a party to both of them. And the Robert rules of basically say that you have to recuse yourself from voting.
No, I do not have to. I have a right to cast my vote no matter what, so I will not recluse myself as we move forward.
Well, if you don't, and what we are gonna pass here, which is what you're gonna want, will not hold water.
I have a right to vote, and this has no conflict of interest here whatsoever.
Turn you online if you want to talk to him about it, but it's very.
I don't need to talk to them about it. I've already talked to county legal counsel about this before, sir.
Yeah. Let's, Mark, could you weigh in on this, please? You see, this is stuff that doesn't need to happen.
You're right, don't need to have, just simply voting if we're gonna extend or not. That has nothing to do with what I do there or what I do here.
It
Nothing to
does,
do. No, it does not.
because you're a party to the contract.
No, I'm
On
not.
both
There is no conflict yet. There has not been a decision made yet. There's not been a recommendation to the full board or nothing. Everything that has been happening here is 100% premature.
Right, but we can't trust you. That's why we.
Oh, that's what it's about.
Well, protect
Yeah.
ourselves. You guys had a contract that very clearly stated,
We'll see.
and the red line documents
Yep.
state one,
Okay,
A, commissioner.
this is your opinion, Richard, so let's
Hey,
move forward.
no, that's also a legal opinion.
We have a motion to approve the agenda.
We can get that in front of the judge. And but that would be your doing because you're not honoring what you know we negotiated to begin with. We negotiated one and you're fully aware.
There, it does not say one in there.
It does too.
It does not say one.
In the
You show me where it says one.
three.
You show me where it says one.
And then 7 says A.
Show me. Let's go. We have a motion on the floor to approve the agenda.
We actually have the attorney and we asked for his opinion, and I would like to hear his opinion before we finish this agenda item on
Okay.
conflict of interest.
So the bylaws of BATA adopt the Roberts Rules of Order when they're not in conflict with the bylaws. Robert's Rule of Order indicates that a member should not vote on a matter in which they have a direct personal or pecuniary interest not common to the other members of the organization. In other words, not as it relates to the approval of the agenda, but perhaps as it relates to the request by Grand Traverse County for an extension of time on the dispute process, that Mr. Jewett would have a personal interest being on the board of the Grand Traverse County as it relates to that particular item, which is not common to the other members of the board.
You know that Robert's rule says should, it does not say shall.
That's correct.
So Mark, if he votes on this that he should have, what does that do to the motion? Does it make the resolution valid or not valid?
I don't think that it will invalidate the resolution.
Okay, that's my only concern. If we're gonna violate the Roberts rules, I didn't want this all of a sudden blowing early. Okay, so we have a recommendation to approve the agenda for the December 28th, 2023 special board of directors meeting as presented. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Old business. We had an old business. I believe not. New business. Consideration of request from Grand Traverse County Commission for a 2-week extension to the dispute process adopted by the BATA Board of Directors on December 7th, 2023. Yeah, that's. BATA will agree to an extension of time on the dispute resolution process contained in Article 7 of the interlocal agreement between Grand Traverse County, Leelanau County, and the Bay Area Transportation Authority for a period of 2 weeks, or until such time as the Grand Traverse County BATA interview ad hoc committee makes its recommendation to the Grand Traverse Board of Commissioners, and the Grand Traverse Board of Commissioners appoints a representative to BATA, whichever occurs first. That is the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? The discussion here is, we shouldn't be sitting here today because a certain individual knew well a year in advance of what direction this board was going. But they did nothing to pull the three boards together for a discussion because they wanted to falsely accuse Bob and I of something that they were actually guilty of. Because their fiduciary duty should have had them pulling the three boards together to come to an agreement. And the thing is then this board was falsely accused of another cherry pick, which is what you two are trying to accomplish.
I'm not even,
So,
there's not been a
and
recommendation here.
this is not a renegade board. This is a board that wants to be respected for what we have accomplished. And enough of this throwing mud at us, and that's why we're here today, because Bob and I were not gonna allow it to happen.
Mhm.
We did nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing. This board did nothing wrong. It was a recommendation of an outside consultant that we expand back to 9 members, and it did not dilute the control that the board, the Grand Traverse County Board of Commissioners would have, because they have 4, Brad, and they get to pick those 3. And Leelanau County only has 2. So guess who's gonna control those 3? The board is not cherry picking. That argument does not hold water at all. And you are guilty of willful negligence. You are guilty of cherry picking. And that's it. I mean, I was accused of something. I had my name dragged through mud, basically, for something I did not do wrong at all.
Thanks for your opinion, Richard, but that's all it is an opinion.
Well, just like it's your opinion, Brad. Your opinion that you didn't do anything wrong, your opinion that you didn't basically backstab this board, your opinion that you did, you can't be trusted.
I didn't backstab this board.
You can't be trusted.
Well, so let's move on.
So I would like to add my opinion too, please, if I may. We're very cognizant of the taxpayer dollars that BATA has had to invest to straighten things out. We've had to ask for attorney opinions on things, quite a bit more than we have in the past. We've had incompatibility of office issues from the county's last appointment, and we're still incurring attorney fees to get that resolved. So we're trying to be careful, and we're trying to make sure that the people who take the seats for the next year aren't gonna incur more attorney fees for this board. So we're trying to be fiscally responsible and make sure that the agreement that we have all agreed to is followed, and that we are all on a path that's the best path for the community. That's what we're here for, and that's what we're trying to do.
Thank you, Heather. That makes total sense. All we have to do is for everybody to comply with what we agreed to. I mean, that's it. We're not trying to not honor it. We are actually honoring it. And we were giving a 2-week extension, just like we were asked. Was trying to show good faith in dealing with this. And all we expect in return is the same. So anyway, let's do a roll call vote.
Can you read the motion back for me? Just to make sure I know what I'm voting on.
The motion is to consider the request from Grand Traverse County Commission for a 2-week extension to the dispute process adopted by the BATA Board of Directors on December 7th, 2023.
Well,
There was more on that.
That's
what
just
For the
verbiage.
Yeah, BATA will agree to an extension of time on the dispute resolution process contained in Article 7 of the interlocal agreement between Grand Traverse County, Leelanau County, and the Bay Area Transportation Authority for a period of 2 weeks or until such time as the Grand Traverse County Beta Interview Ad Hoc Committee makes its recommendation to the Grand Traverse County Board of Commissioners, and the Grand Traverse County Board of Commissioners appoints the representative to Beta, whichever occurs.
Thank you.
That is the motion. Add a second. Seconded. Okay, roll call vote if you would, Brittany.
John Singavilla,
Yes.
Robert Bunch,
Yes.
Jamie Kramer,
Yes.
Brad, Jewett,
Yes,
Heather Harris Brady,
Yes.
Joe Underwood,
Yes.
Richard Cochran.
Yes.
7 yeses, 0 no's.
Board discussion item, I don't think there is anything. Anybody have, okay, second public comment.
I want to thank you for your consideration. What? I don't want to thank you for your consideration.
I got a public comment. I just can't figure out how Grand Trip can't find somebody that's like-minded out of that huge county that they're in, that we have been delayed on finding a person. Come on, you gotta take somebody from your commissioners to be on our board.
there has been no
You
pick.
can't find anybody?
There has been no pick yet.
Go on,
I'm not
solicit
on the ad
somebody.
hoc. I don't schedule the ad hoc meetings. or
It takes,
anything like
it takes you this long to find somebody that's like-minded with you guys? Come on. That's ridiculous.
that. I'm
But
not,
nothing's a stall delay. Driving in these meetings, this is ridiculous. The legal costs, a joke. You guys are a joke.
well, you need to be scheduling the ad hoc committees then. We don't do that. You know, it's all.
Well, who's got-
Who's on that? Who's on that? Who's on that?
That's ridiculous.
I don't know who's on the ad hoc. I'm on other ad hocs right now.
Did you not have 3 applicants?
I don't know. I'm not on the ad hoc. I've not been on them.
And they haven't kept you informed at all.
No, I've not seen either of that.
All the website.
What the ad hoc discusses, what the ad hoc discusses in the ad hoc till it comes to the full board.
So, but you interviewed Bob, right?
I don't know who all they interviewed. Ask, Rob's on there, but I don't know who else is on there.
What was wrong with Bob? He served on this board for what, 7, 8 years?
I don't.
He knows how everything works. He's got a good perspective on everything. You know, what is wrong with that? What was wrong with Linda, who had a good representative of our ridership because her daughter fully utilized Beta along with her riding along with her daughter? That gave us great insight into ridership. But, and nothing against you, Joe, but then you put somebody that has actually a conflict here because he's also on the Board of Commissioners, or the Road Commission, and we both go after the same funding now that we are urban. And that was well known before he was even appointed.
I had a conversation, it's gonna be appropriate to the top.
Right.
Year ago. I remember.
Yeah, you're in a
Year ago.
I think that we should, I just think that we should take a positive look here, and that is this board was concerned earlier on the appointments they thought the county board was gonna make. The county board, for all that important evidence, is pulled back and are asking for more to get, re-interview folks to appoint to this board. So in effect, the board, this board got what it wanted, and this is a good way to solve that problem. To me, I mean, I'm just, from what I've read, looked at, that you've given me. So I know it's very emotional and very, but it looks like to me, the county board responded to what this board did earlier. So I think that you should see what happens, I guess is the best way to say it.
Thank you for that, Drew. I appreciate it. I'll, just jump in really quick. This is hopefully my last meeting. And so I would just like to say, I hope the board will consider in January, finding some way to mend fences. I don't know how that might happen. I don't know if maybe a facilitator can come in, something, but it would be my wish for this board that you would find a way to mend fences and get the board back functioning again in a strong fashion.
I agree.
Totally agree. Okay, that was kind of directions, comment, war, so go ahead.
Do you still have something, Jamie?
No, I in particular have been really disappointed with the fact that I have to keep continually coming into this room and into Leelanau County to basically address something that is a non-issue over and over and over again. And when you are on a board, I feel like it is your responsibility to represent that board and do your best to help that organization move forward, not the opposite. And it is my time and everyone else's time that has been taken around here. And I think we're all just kind of getting resentful of that fact. And I'm really hoping that we can make adult decisions in this room and in the room of Leelanau County and Grand Traverse County moving forward. Because there are very vulnerable people that utilize this service, and we don't need to be dealing with these tiny little threads of ridiculousness every few months. So I am asking that we could all see what this resource is for our community and treat it as such moving forward.
And nobody's ever disputed that. Nobody's ever said that wasn't a resource that was available to vulnerable people in our community. That's never been said.
No, it was applied by some.
No, it was implied and then allowed to
Well,
go through the media in our town because they didn't realize what was going on. The articles of incorporation were fine. Everything was fine. BATA agreed to come along and make this interlocal agreement.
Yeah.
We don't need to keep revisiting these
We're not
things.
revisiting them. We're seeing, I guess, looking at the guts of it, so
So,
we'll see how it plays out.
so there's a guarantee from you, Brad, that you will not try to assign, another commissioner to this
I'm
board?
not on that ad hoc, Richard. Nothing's been in front of our full board.
You have a say in it.
I don't have a say. The ad hoc's gonna have a recommendation. Whatever the ad hoc comes in, then we'll have a discussion in front of the full board. But until we have a discussion, I am not part of that ad hoc. I have no say in it.
Well, can you say that the other commissioners that would need to just, you know?
We don't dialogue like that. That is, whoever's on that ad hoc, that is their committee. They do the interview, they do the recommendations, then it comes to the full board for. We don't play behind door scenes like that, talking about people and stuff, so.
When you erode a relationship, you have to expect that these are going to be the responses. And that's for organizations and for people as well. When you erode a relationship, you have responses that are like this. And you can't expect anything else. You
I am
can't.
not on that ad hoc.
That's a
Whatever the
human
ad hoc
thing.
committee comes up with and recommends to us, then we'll have the discussion at the full board.
And I also want to address Mr. Henschel from earlier and the amount of money that these three counties have spent. There's, excuse me, three counties, three organizations, two counties. None of this should have happened in the first place. No, don't nod your head. I
agree.
no.
Yeah. You knew before
You told.
February 23rd what we were gonna do. He knew long before, over a year before. Neither one of you approached this board, your county board, or Leelanau County's board to say, hey, maybe we want to discuss that. That would have, this all would have been gone. None of this would have happened. All three boards would have been sitting down, coming to a resolution. But because of what you two did, that did not happen. And you are responsible for it, and you are responsible for it, and that's all there is to it. I mean, it's as plain and simple as that. That is the truth of the matter.
Again,
I have a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Okay.
Thank you.